Welcome to the Big Blue Daddy Show, where we talk everything University of Kentucky athletics. Today, we're going to be addressing a lot of things on the floor. Today, we have both football and basketball programs are facing tests and transitions. Fans are watching closely to see how Mark Stoops' football team and how that Mark Pope's basketball team is handling adversity at this time. And the purpose of this discussion is to review the Kentucky versus Texas football game, recent basketball concerns, and expectations for the team's younger players. First of all, I'd like to say this podcast or this show is going to mainly be about basketball, but we'll be talking a lot about the football program as well, because recent years I've become more interested in Kentucky football than I have before. Now, one of these reasons is because the only football coach I really know is Mark Stoops. Before then, I did not know any of Kentucky football. My first Kentucky football game was Kentucky versus Louisville under Mark Stoops, where Louisville lost the Governor's Cup and L's down. Now, Mark Stoops is in a bad position, as well as Kentucky football program is as well. Now we have updated firings of two major NCAA Division I coaches. And I'm just going to say this, guys. This is probably the time that Mark Stoops needs to be scared. We have Florida, who has fired their coach, it looks like. We also have the coach of Penn State fired there. Florida has fired Bill Napier following a 3-4 start in 2025. And guys, where is Florida ranked right now? Are we looking at this? We don't. Football schedule. I see the Kentucky football schedule will be facing Florida, and my prediction was that Kentucky would start connecting, because we do have the Tennessee game coming up, which is looking like it'll probably be a loss as well. Then we have Auburn. As I'm understanding, the Tennessee game is going to be at Kroger Field. Oh wow! If they played like they did against Texas, it's going to be a close game. To see two outings in a row without rest, that's going to be really, really tough, but it's going to be in front of the 50,000 loving fans of Kroger Field. Now, I would like to see Kentucky beat Tennessee for once. I don't think I've ever seen Kentucky beat Tennessee in football. That would be really nice. It'd be interesting. We also have, of course, the University of Football, the University of Florida game coming up without Bill Napier. That's going to be interesting. That is a game which I am predicting Kentucky to win, and I also feel that they will click on this game. This will be one of those games where you'll see that offense and defense click. That's something I wanted to see, and last night, folks, Kentucky did not disappoint, but you got to remember, these guys had a time off to rest, time off to get their game together, to get their act together, more or less, and Mark Stoops' job was on the line. So here's what I'll say is he played and he coached like a coach who, game was on the line, whose job is on the line. Okay, so the job was on the line for Mark Stoops. He went out there and showed. He got angry with officials several times. He got angry with his staff. He got onto his players like a coach should. He looked like a football coach last night, folks. And you know what? Kentucky looked like a football team. And you know what? Cutter, the quarterback, looked like a quarterback. I'm going to say this, Cutter Boley and even Arch Manning, who are both young quarterbacks, this was a tough challenge for them. I believe Cutter Boley only had one interception, and I say only because that just shows you he's not a five-star quarterback to have a interception, or to throw a turnover like that. But I'll say, by golly, he is great. What I like about Cutter Boley, I will say this. Okay. Cutter Boley does not discriminate. If you are a tight end, it doesn't matter if you are a linebacker. You are going to get that ball. He doesn't care. If you're open, he's going to throw that ball to you. Number two I like about Cutter Boley is he'll find you. He'll run across from one end of the field to the other behind the line of scrimmage to find that open man. I have seen about 3 real quarterbacks with Kentucky. The other were just to fill in till Kentucky could get a real quarterback. Cutter Boley is a real quarterback, folks, and he's a real quarterback that is unconventional. He is a real quarterback that is athletic. He's a real quarterback that is tough, and he brought his game tonight. If Cutter Boley was on a top 10 team, oh my goodness, I don't know. I mean, would he be a backup? I guess he would be a backup to all the 5 stars out there, to Alabama and Georgia and all those top-ranked teams, all those top-ranked programs who are struggling right now. We'll get into the discussion later if we have time, that we don't like to go over too much about what I think about the college football program now versus 10 years ago. But what do you guys think about that game last night? Okay, I don't think, in my personal opinion, that they could do anything different. It just shows you the lack of talent that this team has, and it's nothing against Kentucky. It's just that sometimes it just takes heart to win a game, and those guys last night had heart. Kentucky had heart. They just don't have the talent of a strong program like Texas, say. Not able to jump over and leap over like a Georgia running back. Let's just be honest. But you know what? Kudos. I don't know if they would have tried to pass and Cutter Boley would have been tackled. People would be upset. If they would have passed and had an interception, people would be upset. If they tried to run towards the side and lost yardage, people would be upset. You were right there at the goal line. Give it all you got. That's what taking chances, that's what hero status was. If he would have made it over that yard, he would have been the hero and the toast of the town. That's what it takes to have a hero mentality. And let me put it this way. If he does it on another game, this was the game he first tried to do. And I don't know what they could do. Stoops' attitude and fight are still evident. He's not going out like a punk. He keeps the team motivated and competitive despite criticism. The game against Texas was tough, but not a bad performance for Kentucky. The Wildcats, well, they showed grit even in defeat and stayed in the game longer than many expected. The takeaways from the game is strength, offensive and solid quarterback, resilience, weakness, defensive lapses, and inconsistent third down execution. Overall, the effort level suggests the program still has pride and direction. All I can say is they look like an entire different team than I saw about 2 weeks ago. And a lot of it is having that time to get yourself together, to get the anger going, to have some motivation. And whether Mark Stoops firing, if he is on the hot seats, we've got plenty of NCAA coaches now available. And so Mark Stoops is a little worried and he's a little scared. I'm not going to say he's scared. I think he's just ready. But he's not going out like a punk. And I just admire the guy for him. No, I don't think he's scared. What am I saying he's scared? He knows if I have to go to Virginia Tech, or if I have to go to a smaller program, I have to go to the last ranked team in the Big Ten, I'm willing to do that. That's the way he plays. And I think the guy, I got nothing but props for Mark Stoops. I don't know if I blame him for what's going on. I blame more that the system has changed, and maybe there are coaches that are willing to adapt to the new system. People have mentioned names like Liam Cohen, and Liam Cohen is someone who probably knows how the new system is played, because it's just like basketball. You got to get these guys to the NFL, and it's like you have to get these guys to the NBA in basketball. Okay, let's go into Kentucky basketball, because we've talked too long about Kentucky football. I like what was going on there, but we've got more going on here. We've got a Jaland Lowe shoulder injury. Point guard Jaland Lowe suffered a right shoulder injury during the blue-white scrimmage. The injury has caused concern, given his importance to the team's ball handling and tempo. Matt Jones has stated, I saw here, that he thinks he'll be back by the Louisville game. Of course, this is the topic of the depth of the new University of Kentucky basketball team. Who is going to replace him? I would say for this Purdue game, Colin Chandler would be a good choice. Obviously, I'm not impressed with Colin Chandler's shooting in that blue and white scrimmage, and I'll go over what I think about the blue and white scrimmage. I do not want Jasper Johnson handling that ball because he's a freshman. I'm sorry. I think he's not ready to show in any major place right now. Give it to Colin Chandler just for the ball handling. If he can handle that ball and bring it up the court, that's all that matters. Get it to these big guys. We've got 4 of them, and we'll go over that as well for the blue and white game. My impressions, oh my gosh, you're going to have to give Trent Noah more playing time. He's a sophomore. He's not a freshman anymore. Give that guy more playing time from that blue and white scrimmage. And how he does against other opponents, he may get shut down in that Purdue game because they probably have a good defense. They probably have good players that's going to be out there. But Trent Noah has earned my props of getting more time, and he better play like a sophomore because he's no longer a freshman anymore. Colin Chandler, like I said, is he the ball handler that we need right now? Right now, he's going to have to be the ball handler and probably the passer. I'm not going to say that's who he's going to pick. I'll probably say Jefferson Johnson is going to be a good one, come off the bench, take some time off. We're going to have to do something with the point guard situation because we figured that this was going to happen just like it did last year for the point guard situation for Kentucky. So who can step up? We'll find out. Another option is Brandon Garrison is a good ball handler. We can let that 7-footer handle that ball. That's fine with me if he's a good ball handler and get it down to the other 7-footers that are on this team. We have Reese Potter. We have Michael Moreno. We have Malachi Moreno. I'm sorry. We also have the Croatian wonder that he is on this team. So these guys are down there. The problem with those 3 freshmen is they do not have the experience that you need in college basketball, but you've got plenty of guys on the side like Otega Oweh. You've got Aberdeen. You also have these guys out there who can take it and drive it and also steal it. They're going to be very important on the defensive end. These are very strong players. Mo Diabate is very strong. Otega Oweh is very strong. Aberdeen is very strong. Those 3 guys, I'm so glad they're on our side. And they're going to be a very defensive mechanism for this team, and they're going to get a lot of playing time, it looks like, because you need that toughness to survive this game. As well as I'd like to see the points of Trent Noah and Garrison up there where you're going to have some toughness. So let's go into some criticism that I had from the blue and white game. Okay, so let's put it this way. I've got 4 7-footers. Where are my deflections? Where are my blocks? Am I going to have to wait for Jaden Quaidance to be the front man to get my deflections and blocks? You got 4 7-footers. I want people to be scared to go inside that paint. I want people afraid of the paint. So Kentucky's front court defense remains a weakness, especially in the rim protection and defensive rebounding. Opponents of themselves, because they're the only opponent so far, may play an issue on finding easy looks inside. So what I'm calling is for some toughness on those 7-footers. Garrison, you're going to have to deflect more. Moreno, you're going to have to deflect. I mean, Malachi Moreno has proved himself to be a rebounder. Now can he block those shots? The coaching staff needs to emphasize toughness and communication under the basket. This freshman class brings athleticism and energy, but still lacks real game experience. The blue-white game showed flashes of potential, but real competition will test their composure. We'll know more once we finish watching the Purdue game. I almost feel like I don't even want to watch it because you've got all this experience from Purdue. This is a Final Four team that could just defeat anyone. They're probably the number 1 team in the nation, and that's who we get to play our first game. So we're going to have to need some development of chemistry with the upperclassmen. Ability to finish games strong against tougher opponents. All right, folks, so here's my conclusion. Kentucky football still has a fighting spirit under Stoops. Will Stoops be staying after the Napier firing? Will he stay after the Franklin firing? Will he stay? Basketball look back. Despite the scare with Jaland Lowe and defensive question, the team's youth and talent offers us some hope. We won't know until we see that Purdue game, folks. And final thoughts, both Kentucky teams are at crossroads to find out about perfection, but how they respond to challenge and pressure. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, and share if you like videos like this. You guys have a wonderful day.